Hey everyone, today I'm going to be going over how I passed the CCNA in 6 weeks and one take, as you can see with the scores thing. Really briefly, just to recap my experience, I have no professional experience in networking. I've been working with computers my whole life. I came into this knowing the TCP/IP model and the OSI model. Routers are at layer 3, switches are at layer 2, but I had no idea about, STP or frames or 802.3 standards, 802.11 standards, all that stuff that the CCNA requires that and I had zero experience working with Cisco products on the CLI, which, you really that's really the main part of this test, the working with Cisco products, knowing Cisco iOS, knowing how to work with that. So to kind of be the most efficient when watching this video, you can just watch it in 2 times and put on captions. And so let me go over my scores first. So as you can see, I got 100% in automation and programmability, 85 in network access, 92 in IP connectivity, 70 in IP services, 67 in security fundamentals, and 90% in network fundamentals. So I am disappointed about IP services. I didn't expect to get that low. I think everywhere else I did well. Security fundamentals, there were only 3 questions, and for that category, just make sure you know names of Cisco security products and what they do. So the ones that are on the blueprint, like I think Firepower is a next-gen firewall. So just make sure you know the security products listed on the firewall, what they do. So talking about study resources, so I'm a WGU student, and I got access to all of these resources for free, including Boson ExSim-Max. Or actually, not all of these resources. Pocket Prep and ChatGPT I paid for myself. But thankfully now Boson is now included. Boson's practice tests, which are the best, in my opinion, based on the ones I've experienced out there. So Boson practice tests are included free for WGU students for the CCNA and the DevNet, which will be in another video. And so the first resources I used that were included were CBT Nuggets, right? So they have around a 93-hour course. And I felt like the best part of this course was the amount of labs you do. Like, you will not pass the CCNA if you do not have thorough lab experience and you have no professional experience. So obviously, if you have professional experience, you know what you're doing. You don't need any labs. But if you're coming into this like me, you've never worked with the Cisco gear before, you're going to need to lab. You're going to need to lab a lot. And so the CBT Nuggets course comes with around 50 or 60 labs, I think. And, I just did all of those. I really like the format where they give you like a 5 to 10 minute video. I just watched that in like 1.6x and put on captions. Then they give you a little question to make sure that you actually, understood the video. And then at the bottom of the page, you'll do a lab exercise, and that's how I kind of really got all of the concepts into my brain, right? That was my initial run through as to, STP and OSPF and all of these different technologies that you need to know. The second resource that I used was Quizlet. If you're not using flashcards or to remember, just the names of different Cisco products, really just Cisco products, port numbers. Port numbers is a big one. Just make sure that you know the port numbers listed on the blueprint for the services like NTP, NAT, or not, NAT doesn't have a port. HTTP, HTTPS, etc., SSH, FTP, so Quizlet is important. Just use their flashcards. If you don't have Quizlet Plus, I can't believe that they charge for that stuff. Ridiculous. So flashcards are free. Just use those. And number 3, Jeremy's IT Labs, and Anki flashcards. If I didn't have his Anki flashcards, I think I would have failed. If I only took 6 weeks to study. I think these Anki flashcards are the reason why, I felt like the CCNA was easier. The actual exam was easier than a lot of the people said it would be. It's because of these Anki flashcards. I think this is one of the most, if not the most valuable resource that you have for the CCNA. It really is a gift. The labs, I use those in conjunction with the CBT Nuggets labs. I would just do them. You just go to his YouTube channel, you download the packet file, and you just complete the task there. So you just get more and more familiar with the Cisco CLI commands, kind of enable, and then you do conf t. Man, this is like in December for me. So I just labbed. You got to lab a lot. If you take one thing away from this video, you lab a lot, and you use these Jeremy IT Lab Anki flashcards. You use every single deck, you use them. But a key point with these flashcards is that they are overkill. And what I mean is you need to build your discretion as to what flashcards you can delete and what flashcards you can save. So, for instance, flashcards I deleted include DSCP numbers. That's never going to be on the exam. I don't think DSCP was even on the blueprint. That was like super overkill. Another one in the first deck of Jeremy's flashcards, so like the first unit, he has the icons for like PCs and routers and stuff. You really don't need to know that. If you're labbing, you'll get the hang of it. I mean, maybe just know the differences between a layer 2 and a layer 3 switch in terms of icons, but serial versus Ethernet connections, but you don't need to know like the icon for a firewall. That's overkill. Okay. So number 4 I used was Pocket Prep. Pocket Prep was actually very helpful. I know that it is 20 or 25 bucks, but I think it's worth the investment because there are a significant amount of questions on the CCNA that are kind of just like, you can get done with them in 5 seconds or 10 seconds. I finished the exam with an hour left. So I would really recommend Pocket Prep, not for lab-based questions, but just for like the easy to medium multiple choice questions that don't really require thinking. They just require memory recollection, right? So Pocket Prep has over 400 questions. So I kind of just, they have a nice app with a nice UI. You just do like a quick 10-minute or a 10-question quiz. You have a question of the day. You can, do specific categories. I felt like Pocket Prep was really helpful. I wish they had questions for other Cisco certifications, but unfortunately, it's just CCNA and then CCNP and CCIE. So number 5 I used was Boson ExSim-Max. So these practice tests, as well as Jeremy's IT Labs practice tests, which are $10, these are the best. Okay, I would highly not recommend going to Cyber Vista, Kaplan, N2K, whatever it is. Their practice exams are garbage. Avoid them. They will, destroy. They will just set you on a wild goose chase. They have, I don't even know who wrote those questions. They have no clue what they're talking about. The test is nothing like that practice test. It sucks. So do not use Kaplan, N2K, Cyber Vista, whatever it's called. They have like 3 names. Do not use those practice exams. They will throw you off track. Just use Boson's ExSim-Max. It is definitely harder. It is significantly harder than the actual exam, but this is what you need, right? You need something harder than the actual exam so that way on exam day you fly through the test like a breeze, which is what I did. I finished with an hour left. Number 6 is Mnemonics. So I know the 2 examples that I'm about to mention aren't Mnemonics, but you just need to figure out how to memorize these things that are just weird, right? Like FDDI, like I thought of Diddy, F Diddy. I had to remember that. Iaki Wanid, that is important to remember. Emergencies, errors, emergencies, alerts, critical errors, warnings, notifications, informational debugging. Those are the levels of syslog severity. And you must remember that emergency starts at 0. Okay, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not 1 through 8. This is an important, you really should just memorize this. it's important. That's all I can say without breaking the NDA. And number 7 is ChatGPT. Obviously, talking to someone about topics helps you reinforce the concept. Advanced voice mode is really phenomenal. It is, it's unmatched in terms of, there is Gemini Live, which is free. You can use that as well if you don't pay for ChatGPT. And you should just talk to it about topics you don't understand. Like, I didn't really understand RDAB, root designated alternate backup port states in spanning tree protocol. And so what I did was, when I was driving to the test center, by the way, you just want to do these Cisco exams in person. You just don't want to deal with Pearson VUE at home. It might be a mess. You don't know. At least if you go in person, you're going to have a smooth experience. Okay. So what I did was, when I was driving to the test center, had my iPad out, and I just went through each objective one by one. And if I was just a little iffy on it, I would tell ChatGPT, or ask ChatGPT, okay, explain this objective to me, and then tell me a multiple choice question to make sure that I understand, right? So I was answering these questions as I drove over there. And if I didn't understand something, or if I wasn't paying attention, the best part of ChatGPT is you can just ask it to repeat over and over and over and over again if you just keep getting distracted, right? So advanced voice mode or Gemini Live, really, it's going to give you an easier experience in studying for this exam. I know this has been much longer video than my other videos, but this is a very special exam. It is it's a good certification in terms of it has name value and brand value. You tell someone who knows what the CCNA is, you have a CCNA, okay? They're not going to say like it's super easy. I wouldn't say it's super easy. I think, because of the work I did, that's why I flew through the test. But just if you took anything away from this video, it's number 1, lab, number 2, Jeremy's IT Lab Anki flashcards. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you have any questions or thoughts, and take care. Bye.